we use it for so many things. This is the core and backbone of Clean as a cluster. We use it as our CRM system, where we go in and actually track all our members, our activities, potential members, potential activities even, and external events, internal events, communication, conferences, project openings, what we're part of, all these things. And I'm going to go through that right now, one by one, with the, first of all, the CRM, the project development, event management, project workspaces, communication management, accounting, and more. I'm going to go through it now, step by step, and this is going to be the light intro to what we're doing and how we structured. So I am always open for questions afterwards, and when I say afterwards, it's not just in this webinar, but in general. First of all, when you get a Podio platform, you have an employee network. So that's like all the employees that you have, they get like a, what can I say, a Facebook for Business newsfeed. In this newsfeed, it can be that Henrik, for example, has just been to a really, he's invited for a really cool meeting with a core actor, which in this case is the region of Southern Denmark, and he feels like he should share it with the rest of an organization, so they can just go in and check it out when they want. It can also be a dashboard, which we have over here, where you see the different for example, like my tasks here is like, who am I main responsible for, and so on. Yes. I go to the CRM system. We have this as the core of our work in Clean, meaning that we have our organizations. I think we have probably 3,000 different organizations in here. We have our persons who are connected up to the organizations, and everything else. So these two are actually the core of how we are using Podio and Clean, because an organization can be involved in a lot of different things. We register when we have a dialogue with a company, but also the person within the company. So they can be tracked. I can search for the person directly, or I can search for the company and then see the person. And then I can see there's been a dialogue. We have a track of all the groups. Remember that in Clean we have more than, I think it is at the moment, 60 different activities or projects running across 60 employees. So it's quite a lot of tracking to do, actually. And we solve it through registering independently based on our contact persons. And we look and document our activities with these people all the way through. Our partnerships and what kind of partnerships, because what can you say, like a member is one thing, a core member is another thing for us. Then we have agreements of corporations, and that could be everything from a city in China, in our case, to another, what can you say, like another organization like ourselves. Have all the we have all the partners that we have projects with. You can see like we have 84 partners that we have actually projects with in Clean. And then there is a lot of different, what can you say, like there's a lot of different categories of collaboration. We have our membership dashboard, who's a core member. For example, here, I know it's Danish, but I am project manager. So this is my projects, which are running at the moment. Furthermore, we have funding opportunities, because since we have 60 different projects, they are actually funded from very different places. In order to get that overview all the time, also being able to, okay, we got a new project with the Industry Fund of Denmark, for example. We can see, okay, so we have 4 other projects with them. How do we document there? How do we collect in the right format? What are the rules and these things? We can kind of bundle everything, so we get a very lean administration, which is also something that we offer our partners. And we do that because of Podio. Then we have our internal events here, Clean events, where when, for example, Martin that you're going to be introduced to, our communication and event consultant here, when he starts developing a new event, that is put in here on a, is the date set, is it not set, or is it just an idea, basically. But that connects to all our other workspaces that I'll come into later. And say that I get an email from a partner saying, please come join this event. I can actually just, from my Outlook, I can just send an email to Podio into this app here called external events, and it will go in there based on the premises that I've made, put in the key information and the invitation and so on, and then our manager board or board of managers, they can decide who's going where. So we don't, for example, double book or come like 4 or 5 employees to the same event because there was no coordination. So that's the flow. Product development. We have a workspace where we, after a lot of trial and error, it's taken a long time to develop this. I think our framework now is based on 6.5 years of experience. Luckily, we have the key person for that still in-house. So we can basically say like we have a, here's just like we have an app for ideas. Say I talk to a partner, there's a potential project between 2 SMEs, a knowledge institution and a municipality among our members. And I'm like, oh, I have to remember this. And I also have to like kind of have it in process somehow. Then I can put it into the sky, as we call it. When that is starting to be concrete, I put it into the pipeline. We only put stuff in the pipeline when there's resources allocated to the development of the project, and when there's like a team put down to do it, and we have identified a way of funding it. So in all the time that we're developing the project, it's in the pipeline all the way until an application or the like, and then when it is done, we put it into the portfolio. And that's our active portfolio is 59 projects at the moment. And there we have all the basis information and so on, which I will show now. And then after the project is done, we put it into a reference. So another thing for us, or as we have experienced in Clean, is that there is a lot of gold that we have dropped over a period since 2007. So projects that we finished, but we're so much like into a new project that we didn't have time to actually, what can you say, remember the projects that we already completed. So for us, the reference is really, really important as well, that we have the outputs, we have documentation, everything in place. Yeah, and I put some black things on the stuff that I don't want to share. Yeah, this is a bit small, I know, but it gives an idea. This is one project. This is actually the Northern Connections project inside Podio. So you can see there is like all the basic, like how is our internal numbering, who's the project manager and the responsible, what should be on the homepage, because this is actually linked up on the homepage as well. Sorry, and also linked into another workspace with like specific homepage things, and all the way through, like it is running, time frame, and I'm just looking, budget, how is it financed, in which way, because as we know, like a lot of these different Interreg is funded in a different way than the regional funds and development funds. So that's also important for internal practices. And then who is the lead partner, who are the organizations. I'm sorry to say, guys, I simply, all of your information is in here. I have all the key contact points in the organizations already registered, so I always know who we are in contact with. And we also use that for, say, there's a new project that comes in my hand and I'm like, oh, who do I need to talk from iCleanTech right now, for example? Okay, I go in and know it's Steph, for example, through this. And in that case, it's also interesting to say that, okay, we also have another project with iCleanTech. So That's interesting. There can be a collaboration opportunity there. And then all the way down to what are the goals, how they're defined, how they're managed, and all the way down, what kind of areas are the project covering, because we're covering as a cluster the whole field of clean tech. And that means that we have everything from dirty soil management projects to district heating to smart home applications and so on inside our portfolio. So we're very much focused on having attraction on that as well. The project workspaces. You're all a part of one of them, as the Northern Connections. I'm going to show you another one as well. But this is our one of the projects that we're running. It's the Innovation Network for Smart Energy, funded by the Ministry of Science and Innovation in Denmark. They always change names, but that's what it is. In here, this is an example of having a workspace where you're having external collaboration. So not just people from Clean. We have in this project members from, or like project members from advanced research institutes, universities, and so on. And it's really, really important for us to, for example, in this one is very hardcore based on co-financing. So that when we put down an hour, we need the companies to do the same. We need to register that in a lean, efficient way with a event portfolio of almost 200 different events in 2 years. That's a lot. It's one every 3 days. So what we have here is like our members or our project partners can go in and with their own events, create a new event, put it up in the framework that we need to do it in the Innovation Network for Smart Energy. There's a lot of rules and stuff like that we need to follow. And then it goes through a whole process automatically, giving the right people like boss, this guy and this guy and this guy, because they need to provide either participant list for documentation or put something on a homepage or whatever. All this is running smooth and in a automatic manner. And this one is reported every half year. That's the reporting on the co-financing and what comes from events, what comes from other places, how many members, because this is also membership. It's actually a cluster within a cluster, and so on. This is North Sea region, Northern Connections. So this is our workspace. It's a bit different. Since Martin is our new communications responsible in the project, we're probably gonna try to merge a bit more. So get some of the information and processes from the Innovation Network for Smart Energy into Northern Connections, and more on that later. But for example, I'm gonna go a step back. Here we also have an organization app. That organization app is actually linking into our main master data as well. So when something happens in here, we get to talk to a new company, a new organization. It's automatically updated into our main CRM system as well. So we have the traction and everything. Good. And as another example, this is an internal workspace for the Innovation Network for Environmental Technology that we're also running. Bit more simple, but you have everything. For example, this one, they're making a integration of their homepage as well into this, like we also have in Clean. And it's just a good way of tracking the members. What are you doing with the members? We even have the subscription for membership on the homepage and so on. And then there's some different flows that's running from that. Good. Okay. I could continue for ages talking about Podio because that's how I am. And just to say, we're actually making an API integration of our homepage. So the cleancluster.dk is basically the back, we say like the backside, no, backend, damn. The backend is here. This is the actual backend. So we have members, job opportunities, publications, projects, partners, clean tech areas, web elements, which can both be there can be pictures or whatever. We have cases from our different projects. We have our events, and we have like a, what can you say, like a news function and everything. And that's simply running inside Podio, and we can track it along everything else we do. So when we do an event, it's easy to go straight out and start the other event. Good. We actually use this for all our support as well, because Clean is, we are like 5 different destinations in Denmark or cities. So we have all our support function in one place, administration. And in order for that to run smoothly, we do it through here. So we have IT support, our time log, our.
We have a question from Lars Bern. What makes you use Podio besides it being another CRM system? What is it that Podio doesn't solve?
Okay, so I just got a question, even though I thought I was going to have that in the end. So the question is from Lars: why do we have Podio? Try to just slowly speak myself.
Not just why is it not just a CRM system? What is the next level in Podio?
Yeah. Okay. So the question is, why is not just a CRM system? Why is it something more? And what's the next step? For us, the CRM system is, you know, you have some basic like organization 1, 2, 3, person 1, 2, 3, and so on. The CRM systems that are developed are for small cluster organization, first of all, too expensive if you want it to be functioning really, really good. So for us, it's like Podio, I'm a super user myself. I can set up all this myself. So I don't need really, really expensive external consultants, and I don't need a service agreement with these guys. I can actually change it, you know, gradually through when my needs change. Second of all, you won't get a CRM system where you can hook up your homepage on it. And thirdly, the reason why, and that's actually, I think I'll just go to the next slide, is, what can you say? We are a certified gold cluster by the Cluster Excellence. So the way we have built up our CRM system is actually one-to-one the indicators from the Cluster Excellence initiative, meaning that we get all the documentation in the format that we need in order to document what we're doing. A cluster certification or gold certification is not something in itself, something you should go for just to have the stamp. It's just like if you want an MBA, you shouldn't get the MBA because you want an MBA so you can get more money. You actually should do the MBA because you want new skills. And it's the same here. We didn't do this because of the Cluster Excellence initiative. We're doing this to make more lean processes, agile processes, also to, what can you say, show our members the worth of being in our activities, because we need to document. A big company, we can have 10 different activities with 10 different people, and if it's only one person who's in charge of paying the membership fee, then that person could say, okay, what I'm doing with them is not enough, but you need to be able to point them to the colleagues. So for us, it's like very important that we have the full power to change it when we need it to change, and do it in a very lean manner. So yeah, I put them up here while we're doing it this one, and also of course have it as a tool inside the toolbox that you should all of course look at. Boom, boom, boom. I think that was more or less it. Okay. So if anyone has more questions, and it seems there is none, but I'll still give you like a few seconds to decide.
Alex comments that Podio is a brilliant tool as long as you use, all the members use it. No input, no output.
Yeah, we got a comment from Alex that Podio is a great tool as long as all members are using it, because as I would say, also all CRM systems is like, it's based on the input you get. If you get good input, then you have amazing output. If you get bad input, you won't have a good output. So it's also a matter of engaging your co-workers, or if you're a manager, your employees, in the right manner to mobilize them to use the platform.
Are there any points for improvement for Podio?
Oh my God. So the question is, are there any points of improvement for Podio? Yes, definitely. I usually say that the best thing with Podio is that it can do anything you want. And the worst thing with Podio is that it can do anything you want. So there's always space for improvement, and we're like gradually developing new improvements to our platform. But I must say that it's a two-edged sword. So the thing is, like, if it starts to be steered more towards a certain point, you will also probably lose some of the stuff that's good over here. So I'd say the platform is in itself should just continue being like this, like, because they give opportunity, like they enable people to use or do anything possible, and they do it in a way that it doesn't completely fall to pieces. But at the exact point where they start to narrow down the possibilities, I think it will lose the benefit for a small organization as ourselves. Definitely.
Why you have another CRM system connected with Podio? Or did I understand you wrong? Det med nettet, tror jeg nok. Det er forhold til, hvordan information kommer ud på nettet.
Okay, but okay, there's a question why we're using another system besides Podio. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the question is like, why do we have another platform? And I guess that must be the homepage platform that he's talking about. The point here is that instead of having an Umbraco or WordPress backend, we have a Podio. So it's actually connecting, what can I say, like, we're using Podio directly as a homepage management system, where in another world you would have a separate homepage management system in a WordPress or Umbraco or something else. So it's actually putting two systems together into one. Yeah. Good. I think that was all. Hope you enjoyed hearing a bit about Podio. As I told you before, here is my credentials. You can go and contact me. I'm always up for answering questions about Podio. And I hope I inspired someone to either understand your own system better and actually value for what that can do, or give you an interest in trying to go towards the Podio experience. So that was all. I hope to see you next time, and we'll make those dates available on Podio, and they actually are available on Podio already as events. So thank you very much, and bye.